Hi, everybody. This is Reverend Thomas Williams from Bethlehem Bible Church, and I am going to share our last lesson by just telling you what the spiritual gifts are not. And then I'm going to give you the list of spiritual gifts. What the spiritual gifts are not are acquired skills or natural talents. You may be naturally gifted or talented, I should say, at singing, but that doesn't mean you have the gift of communication, the gift of creative communication. You'll see people without the love, if you will, and they're very talented. But when somebody comes with that gift and they're doing it from their heart in the power not of their own, but of given to them by the Spirit, you'll see them sing that totally talented person under the table because they're doing it in the power of God's love, and it makes a difference. A spiritual gift is not a role. Because you have or an office, because you have a position in the church, doesn't necessarily mean you're gifted. As I said, oftentimes people are put in these roles out of need versus gift. Ultimately, we want our gifts to speak for us and to put us in the appropriate roles and the appropriate offices. The gifts of the Spirit are not the fruit of the Spirit. They often get confused. The fruit of the Spirit's in Galatians 5:22 and 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. Basically, I could tell if somebody's saved if they're exhibiting the fruits of the Spirit. You judge the tree by the fruit it bears. And if you really have God in you, we should see some love, should see joy, should have a peace, should have some forbearance, should have kindness, should have faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. We're not always effective at all of them, or all of them show manifestation at all the times, but we should be striving towards that. That's the fruit of the Spirit. That's different than the gifts that God gives us to operate the church. The fruit of the Spirit is evidence of God's your salvation, God's salvation in your life. All right. Also, the gifts are not for gain. We're not to use our gifts to try to get ahead or to get over. That's an abuse of your gift. The gifts should not be divisive. We should not be splitting church over who's gifted with what. We should use the gifts to grow the church and strengthen the church. And here's a big point. The gifts are not the same for everyone. You've heard that on each scripture. They talked about the variety of gifts. So does that mean that two of us can't have the gift of administration? Absolutely. And guess what? There's lots of jobs in the church that can use the gift of administration or whatever your gift is. But we don't have to occupy the same space is the point. But we can have more than one person that has that gift. All right. So let me just share real quick. There's I believe 30 gifts here. So when you look at your package, that will actually give you a definition for each, but I'm just going to name the gifts. There's administration, apostleship, craftsmanship, creative communication, discernment, encouragement, evangelism, faith, giving, healing, hospitality, intercession, interpretation, knowledge, leadership, mercy, miracles, pastor, shepherd. Some surveys will call it shepherd, others will call it pastor, but the same. Prophecy, helps or serving, tongues, teaching, and the gift of wisdom. The gift of wisdom. All right, and we use the Uniquely You profile assessments to create your profile. We believe it gives a great description. It's a very intuitive and easy to understand, and they give great instructions on how to follow up on your gifts. When you take your assessments and you begin to find out your gifts, if it's something that's a little more unusual, miracles or tongues, and you're kind of like, whoa, I didn't know I had that, then we can set up a special teaching or lessons for you on how to really utilize and thrive in your gift. Well, I hope this has been a blessing for you. Take care and God bless. And thank you again for joining us on this journey.